Hey everyone, welcome to this yoga power flow. All you will need today is yourself and something soft below you. So when you're ready, let's get started. Starting in a seated position, just place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. Close down your eyes and take a deep breath. And let it all go. Releasing your arms and meet me back in all fours. Your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are over your knees here. And move into some cat-cow poses here. Again, breathing in and up and exhaling and releasing down to the ground. Pressing your knees back into downward dog. Take a little bit of a stretch here, bending your right leg and then your left leg, just easing into this pose for the first downward dog of this class. Coming forward into plank pose, straighten your right leg up into the air behind you, then slowly bending your leg and reaching that right knee up to your right shoulder. Extending all the way back, this time pulling your right leg all the way through and releasing it on the ground on the outside of your right hand, lowering your opposite knee to the ground. Once you find your balance, reach your arm up onto that right knee and just gently press it open. You're going to feel a really deep stretch in your hip right here. And lower your right arm back down to the ground. Stepping that leg back, pulling it all the way forward again, this time bending it in front of you, laying it all the way flat on the ground, and then walking your arms and your upper body down to meet the floor here. This pigeon pose can be pretty intense for the beginning of the class, so remember to breathe here. Gently walk your arms back up. Step your right leg back and lower down through your first chaturanga here. Try to keep those thighs off of the floor and fully extend through your chest and head. Pushing your hips back down into downward dog. Left leg comes up, bending that knee and reaching it towards that left elbow. Extending your left leg, tap it once more to that left elbow, extend it back out. This time bending your leg and pulling it all the way through. Placing that foot on the floor, lower down onto your right knee. Then place that left arm onto your left knee and gently push to get a deeper stretch here. Release your left arm back to the ground, step that left leg back, and pull that same leg all the way to your pigeon pose, releasing your upper body all the way down to the mat. Breathe here. Gently rising back up. Lengthen your left leg back and lower your body all the way down through chaturanga. And meet me in downward dog. Try to get your heels to be flat on the floor here in a deep stretch. Then slowly walk your legs towards your hands. Meet me in the center of the mat. Halfway fold, release, and lengthen all the way up into a standing pose. Stepping your feet out to the sides of your mat, make sure they are slightly turned out here, and sit your hips all the way down to the mat here. Palms are together and push your elbows into the inside of both of your knees here. Twisting your torso to the right, lower that left arm down to the ground. Reach that right arm up in towards the sky. Take a breath and switch sides. Right arm is down, left arm is up. Breathe. Come back towards center and lower your arms to the ground. Lengthen up through your legs and slowly heel toe those feet back towards the center of the mat. Halfway fold, lengthen through your spine and release. Lengthen up through your spine, reach all the way over your head, fold over once more, and meet me back in downward dog. Breathe in here and exhale. Release forward through your chaturanga. Come back up to downward dog. Folding forward, your shoulders are underneath your wrists. Moving into some shoulder taps here. Your right arm taps your left shoulder, left arm taps your right shoulder. Switching sides here, we'll be here for 20 taps. Make sure to keep your belly in tight here and try to keep your back as straight as you can. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees to the mat and fold back into child's pose here. Lengthen through your arms as much as you can to really feel that stretch through your upper body. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Coming back into plank pose. You extend your right leg all the way up into the air, pulling it forward, stepping all the way through into a lunge here, and rise all the way up, keeping a deep bend in your right leg. Palms are going to interlace with your pointer fingers and thumbs pointing straight up, and fall back into a gentle back stretch here. Coming back to center, lift your right heel off of the ground and just balance here for a moment. Focus on your breath. Lower your heel back down to the mat. Open your hips into warrior two, arms straight out to the side. Dip back towards that left leg, cartwheeling your right arm all the way down to the ground. Left arm is up, and keep a deep bend in that right knee. Hold here for a moment. Pull your core in tight. Coming back up towards center. Align your hips back towards the front of the mat. Lifting your right heel up, we're going to do 10 pulses here. Arms are straight above your head. Pull your core in tight and bend through that right knee. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering your arms back down to the ground, step that right leg back and lower into chaturanga. Releasing your hips back into downward dog. Just breathe with me for a moment. Walk out those legs. And let's move into the other side. Left leg extends back. Pull all the way to the front of your mat. Coming up, arms up over your head. Interlace your hands with your pointer fingers towards the sky. Gently arch back. And come back to center. Raising that left heel this time, just hold it here, balancing on your toes for a moment. Lower your heel down. Rotate those hips. Arms straight out towards the side. And stretch through your side body here. Twisting your hips back towards the front of the mat here. Raise your left heel, come onto your toes, and pulse it out. Keeping your arms above your head, your core tight. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands down on the mat, step back into downward dog, and release through your chaturanga, taking a deep breath here. Pushing back into your downward dog, but we're going to reach our hands out wide so that they are on either sides of the mat. Coming into a variation of a push-up here, keeping those arms and elbows wide. And we'll be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Setting your hips back, lower down into child pose. Breathe deeply here and just release all of the tension. Pull your legs underneath you. Center yourself on your mat. And lower your upper body and legs down flat onto the ground. Bend your left leg for a little bit of support here. We're going to do some straight leg crunches. Extending your right leg out. Both of your hands are extended above your head. And pull them in for some crunches. And reach both of your hands to your feet. Staying here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that right leg down and switch legs. Right leg is bent, left leg is extended, and crunch here. Really try to not let any space form between your lower back and the mat here. Tighten those muscles. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing your legs into butterfly pose. Bring your toes and heels together and allow your legs to fall out towards the side. Both hands are behind your head and neck to support you here, and do 10 crunches here. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Staying up, reach both hands out in front of you and just pulse here for a moment. Three, 2, and 1. Straighten those legs out below you. Your body. Bending your right knee towards your chest. Grab a hold of it with your left arm and just let it fall towards the left side of your body here. Your right arm and neck is reaching towards the right. Come back towards center and do it down the other side. Left leg reaches up and rolls over the right side of your body. Left arm is out to the side of you. Pulling that left leg back in. Pull both of your legs in towards your chest. Your hands are grabbing the outside of your feet and come into happy baby here for a moment. Rock side to side if that feels good for you. Try to make sure that your tailbone is pushing towards the floor here. And if it feels good, you can straighten your legs all the way to the side here and holding on to your knees or ankles for a moment. Just allow your legs to fall open as much as you can. Pull your legs back towards center. Coming into savasana, release your legs out wide onto the mat below you, palms facing up, arms out to the side, and just release everything right here. Be proud of yourself for stepping onto the mat today. Take a deep breath here. And release. Thank you guys for joining me for this yoga power flow, and I will see you guys next week.